Hello, YouTube. We're back here again doing another nerd report, and the reports are coming in. And I want to say this statement real quick. Verizon, knowing is half the battle. So, before we get into it, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and then also stay for the story. So, Phone Arena is giving us a nice little nugget here, and Verizon explains why customers have left. Well, I'm kind of glad that they have finally come around to kind of sort of understand why they're bleeding customers. Now, inside of this, they kind of go into detail a little bit. It doesn't seem like they go directly at it, but I feel like as you start reading this article, you do get an understanding that Verizon overplayed their hand. So with T-Mobile coming on scene 5 years ago, which they automatically identified 5 years ago, that they were going to try to play the we're the most prestigious company game instead of fighting for every customer that comes along. So that comes from underestimating your competition. So you figure that, hey, new T-Mobile comes online. We're gonna play hey, we're the best company that's ever touched a cell phone tower, and you kind of played yourself at that point. So Verizon plays his hand. They become more prestigious. They raise people rates. People don't like it. I mean, I hear from Verizon customers all the time when I get a chance to talk to people as an Uber driver, and you bring up the subject of your cell phone, and they all say the same thing. Hey, my cell phone bill is way too high. Cell phone bill's too high. Man, I wish I could try something else. And you kind of end up seeing the explosion of MVNOs starting to happen, and people migrating from a Verizon or AT&T or even a T-Mobile, and they go to what's cheaper. Instead of paying $100 bill per line, they go into $50 per line. And that's what a lot of these MVNOs are offering, are cheaper rates, less features, cheaper rates. And that's totally understandable. But one of the biggest problems is Verizon read the room wrong. Does Verizon as a company have put a lot of due diligence into their network? Yes. Actually, as a network enthusiast, I go every single time I go to a new location and try out and test Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. I have higher expectations for Verizon than I do AT&T or T-Mobile. A lot of times, I'm shocked and surprised at the performance I get underneath Verizon, more than I am expecting T-Mobile to work or even AT&T. So their namesake and their prestige level superseded their ability to provide a better service for their customers. And that's one of the reasons why, in this article, they kind of go into a little bit depth. Verizon holds itself responsible. So it's kind of good that they are identifying that they had some issues and that they are on the lookout to correct these issues. I don't know how far along they are going to be to correct and fix these issues, but one of the things they're doing right now is laying people off. And this might not be the only layoffs that ends up happening due to the fact that they overplayed their hand. So it's just one of those things where you're trying to figure out where this company is going to stand at. I look at it through a lens of the network also. Verizon is not moving as fast with their cellular build as a T-Mobile is. I think that one of the reasons why we saw T-Mobile grow in their network and move so fast on their network is because they saw growth paths to victory. Where Verizon is hey, our customers are customers. why move fast? Which is one of the reasons why they're still playing around on 4G more than any other network currently right now. So it makes it a little difficult to, as a network enthusiast, to kind of be like, oh, well, Verizon Prestige is carrying over into this generation of G that we're on. So they got a new CEO at the helm, but is he going to be able to make the moves that's needed to turn the ship around? I mean, the customers are already upset. The only thing that they're kind of doing right now, and I don't like this when companies do this, which is they try to retain you through little gimmicks. You know, why not just go ahead? You raised everybody's rate roughly at the same time. Why not just lower everybody's rate at the same time? Get the news press. It shows that lets people know, hey, we believe in you. We love you as a customer base, and we're gonna do this voluntarily right now. But that's not how capitalism works. So they're not gonna do that. So as soon as somebody wants to leave, then they start offering, hey, I heard you're a gamer. Here's a PlayStation. Try to keep them on for another 2 or 3 years while you throw a smoke screen up and hope they don't leave. I just think that I don't really see Verizon correcting this ship as fast as they would like. Identifying that you had a problem after 5 years is a one step towards fixing your problem. But like I said earlier in the intro, knowing is half the battle. How what you decide to do on the other half of this battle that you're working on, we don't know yet. But I'll be looking for these articles like this to report on. I'm always going to take a more network-centric viewpoint, because Verizon stumbles in their networking reverts into their business side also. But thank y'all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think. What do you think it's going to take for Verizon to correct the ship? Do you think that they're on the right path? Do you think they already made the moves? Or do you think they still got a long way to go? Put it into the comment section. I'm going to read it and comment back to you. Thank y'all, and y'all have a good one.